Thanks so much for attending my presentation about luck and Pokemon, the Crusher of Dreams. And first off, I don't have a script today. I got a lot of comments on my April Fool's video telling me that it was really fun to listen to me talk about the stuff without a script, so I'm going to try it today. Tell me how it goes. Anyways, the mischance in Pokemon is fascinating to me because of how wild of a design choice it is. You have these crazy moves. You have Thunder, Fire Blast, Focus Blast, all of which crazy strong. You have Guillotine, which literally kills you in one hit, but they also have crazy low accuracy, and this is kind of a symptom of creating moves like this in the first place. If you make broken moves, you're going to have to balance them in some way, and oftentimes that balance, especially in a game like Pokemon, is going to have to come in ways that inherently involve luck. This is, I think, overall a totally fine thing to do, but it does create some major issues. Take a look at Reuniclus in Generation 5. It is a mono-psychic type. It really wants fighting type coverage because it gets blanked by dark types. Issue, the only fighting type move it really gets is Focus Blast, which is 70% accurate. It's super uncomfortable to click, and you don't want to have to rely on it game in and game out. Take a look at Gen 2 Zapdos, which really loves to run Thunder for the power, but also Thunder's pretty inaccurate, and it really also wants to run Thunderbolt for the consistency. So some people decide to forgo coverage or decide to forgo Sleep Talk and really just run both. That's kind of a crazy decision to have to make, to give up important coverage to like Hidden Power Ice or Water, or maybe you give up Sleep Talk so you're less threatening when you're asleep, and then Snorlax can do more stuff to you, which is really, really scary because you're like, okay, well, I want the consistency of being able to use Thunder and Thunderbolt on the same set. That's legitimately insane to have to make that choice, and it happens all the time in Pokemon, which is kind of nuts. And next up we have secondary effects. These are pretty simple. They're just an effect tacked on to the end of a move. For example, the flinch, which I'm going to talk about later. Jesus fucking Christ, the flinch is insane. But anyways, they're oftentimes a stat drop or a status condition. Pretend you're a Gliscor. You're like slower than this Scarf Tyranitar, and you're like, okay, well, this crunch is going to be 3-hit KOing me. Maybe you're in like Gen 4, so you don't have poison heals, so you're like, okay, cool, this is 3 KOing me, but oops, they get the defense drop, and now you're losing, and now you're dead, and now you're fucking depressed. Look, I don't know, it's crazy, this shit happens all the fucking time where you're like, oh, I need to avoid this stat drop, and then you don't avoid the stat drop, and then you're really sad, and it's just an absolute disaster. Also, status is crazy. Take a look. Remember I was talking about Thunder last time? Thunder is the craziest fucking move in the game. It has a 30% paralysis chance. Paralysis is debilitating. It like halves your speed or quarters it in earlier generations. It's absurd just how much bullshit it does. It makes you have a chance to not move. It's a disaster. And then flinch is nuts. Why did they put flinch into this game? Why is there like a chance on so many moves that you just don't get to play the game that turn? I loaded into this game. In the top right, it was Darkrai Torkoal lead. I'm like, alright, I just need a screenshot of me using Dark Pulse on the ladder. I click Dark Pulse, deals 50%, Torkoal flinches, kill the next turn. Holy shit, that's complete horse, man. This game is ass. I cannot believe that they put this into the game. One of my least favorite mechanics, possibly my least favorite mechanic in Pokemon, is the flinch, and I kind of wish it wasn't in the game aside from moves like Fake Out and Upper Hand, which I think were actually done very, very well. But anyways, I'm rambling. Let's get on to the next slide. When I first started playing competitive Pokemon, I really hated the role because it honestly does feel super bullshit at first. All my moves are dealing different damage. I got hit for 49% this turn, and then 51% the next turn, and then I died. This is so bullshit. But no, actually, giant skill issue. Roles are so fucking cool and allow for a ton of awesome skill expression. Take a look at maybe an example game. You're at 52% health, and you know that your opponent's move is dealing somewhere between 48 and 54%. So you have about like a 33% chance, or a 1/3 chance to live this turn. And you know that your move is killing your opponent this next turn because of some crafty EVs or maybe your choice bandit or really whatever. So you're thinking, okay, well, I can switch. I have a pretty free switch here, but also this guy that they're attacking me with is extremely annoying, and I know that my opponent's super aggressive, and they're probably going to be going for this role. So I need to try and figure out if I want to switch out or if I want to stay in and take that chance and try and kill their Pokemon, or really whatever. You can do so many cool different things, and also you can change roles in the Team Builder. In the Team Builder, I'm going to talk about this in terms of VGC because that's the area where I'm personally the most experienced with roles. For example, right, maybe I'm running Terra Fairy Raging Bolt, and I'm like, okay, I want to be able to take Fake Out plus Surging Strikes really, really well, and then also be able to take a Rillaboom Grassy Glide afterwards. This is the kind of like the thinking that you have to have, right? I want a Terra Fairy for this specific Pokemon. Maybe I'm worried about Flutter Mane a lot, so I want to run Terra Fairy, but also when I'm Terra Fairyed, I want to make sure that I'm going to be able to take all of these super strong moves. So I'm going to EV for this, but also I want to be able to kill the Urshifu Rapid Strike with a Thunderclap after the Rillaboom's Grassy Glide goes off. So I need to EV so I can actually kill most Urshifu spreads. There's so many different ways that you can look at EVs, right? With your team and with the metagame, with just every single possible thing that you have going on. With items, there's so many cool things that you can do with rolls to surprise your opponent and also just have good team building. It really improves your team building skills. Rolls are super slept on. Learn them. Actually use them and don't just throw 252, 252, 4 on everything because that's what the Smogon like basic spread provides. Definitely look into it, especially if you're just really wanting to make like crazy cool teams. I think it's sick. Rules are awesome. Let's move on. Hey, and after all of this, you might think that I really hate luck, but that's the opposite. I love luck. I think it's a really important thing in Pokemon, and it's actually a skill. I'll see people complain like, oh man, I got double flinched, full parried. Like, I get it. It's really annoying, but there are probably things that you could have done to get around this. You could have gone to something faster. You could have gone to something that takes a ton of hits, and it would have been even more unlucky for you to even lose that game at all because, oh, well, my Blissey was air slash, but then I let them set up like a billion nasty plots and then their Togekiss swept through me. Just go to Blissey first and paralyze it. It really is that simple. Like there's so many things that you can do in Pokemon and blaming it all on luck. Like I get it. Sometimes really stupid bullshit happens. Look, Pokemon is not a perfect game, but also if you are only complaining about luck when you lose, you are looking at things wrong. You need to learn to be a better player aside from luck, and you need to learn how to use luck on your side to make you a better player and to make all of your plays work and just everything. Use luck to your advantage. Don't hate on luck just because you got BS'd out of a win one time. There's a motorcycle outside. Damn. In conclusion, luck is absolutely insane. There are ways that I think it's done well, and there are ways that I think it's done poorly, like the flinch, but on the whole, luck is really, really good for the game, and I'm very glad it's here. Thank you so much for watching.